Yes. Oh, let's go. Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Happy flippin' Friday. It's October 1st, mortgage day, rent day, all kinds of a day today, but it's the beginning of October. Wow. September what? Where did that go? Where are you, September? It literally is a blur to me. I don't even know what happened in September. Really nothing. Just pretty much the same as August and July, June, not much happened here with me. So it is now, we're fully into fall. We're fledgling fall people now. And yeah, it's cold. Last night I was almost ready to say, please turn the heat on. And I didn't. I took my mind and said, don't do it because I don't want to spend the money on heat. We have oil. I said, we're not doing it yet. We have to wait. I don't care. I'll put on another pair of socks. I was tempted to get a hat and put that on. I did not. However, we need to just get into this. I said I wasn't going to do lives anymore. However, the big guy himself, yes, Mr. Al, he set me up with some pretty sweet audio equipment. So we will see how this sounds. Hopefully it sounds really good. And hopefully this works out. You're getting raw Kiki here right now. Pretty raw. I like that though. I do. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of fun to me. Anyway, classic rock news for today, October 1st of 2021 on this fabulous Friday. Now, you guys know that I'm really picky when it comes to new music from our, I don't want to say old, but our artists that we love. I like to say that. The word old is just not a good one to use. However, you know what I'm saying. So new music from artists of yesteryear. How's that? That's a little bit better. But I have to say, I do like Elton John's song with Dua Lipa, Cold Heart. That is really a fun song. But I did just discover that there is another new song that came out this week, completely quiet. There was not a lot of press on this song, and I think that there should be, this song should have been blowing up. The fact that these two did a song together should just be historical, which it is. But John Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen released a song the other day. Did you know that? I had no clue. You guys are all going to say, we knew that, Kiki. Where have you been? I did not know. I saw nothing until it popped up when I was doing my research. I said, that is really cool. So I took a listen to it. It is so good. It's so John Mellencamp mixed with Bruce Springsteen. Exactly, because they sang it together. They did a collab. Wasted Days. That's the name of the song. Pure loveliness, I feel, from these two icons. Great song. Again, really shocked it was not put out there in a bigger scope. Why keep it silent? I mean, I know they did some PR for it, but not really what it should have gotten, I feel. My own personal opinion. I go listen to it anyway. But John also has a new album coming out in 2022. Not a lot of information on that at all, probably because, hey, it's not done yet. No title. It's really still in the working stages. And the video for this song was also just filmed in September. So the song was released a couple of days ago. The video was done at the beginning of September. And then they just put it all together really fast. Came out great. The video, again, just John and Bruce playing some cards at the kitchen table and playing their guitars on a dirt driveway in front of a garage. It's just perfect. It's just so them. Then we headed to, just some of the earlier days. And again, go listen to this song. It really is good. Wasted Days. I really enjoy it. And I would like to throw it on the station if we could. It's just that good. Now, talking about the E Street Band, Bruce Springsteen, getting into him a little bit, Steven Van Zandt, E Street Band alum, recently came out and talked about his departure from the E Street Band. Now, he left when they were making Born in the USA. Him and Bruce had some major words. Steven left, and Steven recently said it was the biggest mistake of his life, and it was career suicide. I mean, imagine leaving the E Street Band just before Born in the USA took off, because when it took off, it went flying. Remember, what was her name? Courtney Cox was in the video, Born in the USA. Great times then, really. And he also said, on the flip side of that, however, on a positive note, that you have to die before you are reborn. But sorry, I think it totally sucks to die. Been there, been in those, you feel like you're dying stages, and it's just not, it's not a good place to be. I mean, okay, great. You learned a lesson, but if you get through that lesson, good for you, good for all of us. It's just, it sucks going through it. I will say that. So we're glad that Stephen did get through it, and you can read all about it in his new book, Unrequited Infatuations, where I'm thinking he talks all about the big blowout between him and Bruce, but they are good with each other now. And that is good to me, because I really do feel that when celebs or artists have a blowout with each other and then sadly something happens to one of them and they don't make up, it's just sad. It's sad. And you know that people feel really bad about it, i.e. Eddie Van Halen and some of the folks around him who potentially did not make up with him before he passed. And they are sad about it. Now, moving on to another humongous story in music news, Britney Spears, not classic rock. However, it is noteworthy to say that Britney is now free. And I am not making fun of this at all, because I actually love Britney Spears. I do. I really do. And I feel that the insanity that has been going on with her and her life really has been insanity and just completely crazy. If you have followed even just a teeny tiny shred of it, it's kind of unbelievable that this even happened to her. So what happened was, she's a megastar. She's been completely under the control of her dad since 2008. I'm sorry, my nose is itchy and the weather's so cold. I'm starting with a runny nose. Sorry, Brittany, I didn't mean to interrupt. Jamie Spears, Britney's bad. Do you see what I'm saying? I rub my nose and I get all crazy. We'll just... Jamie Spears, Britney's dad. This is why live is fun, because it makes you look like a real ding-dong sometimes. Well, what is happening with me right now? I have, let's see, a runny nose, phlegm in my throat, and now I can't speak. Anyway, let's try this one more time. Jamie Spears, Britney's dad, and he is bad. So that was perfect. He has had control of his daughter's medical, financial, and professional beings for all of this time, since 2008. Judge Brenda J. Penny said that, do you hear my voice? Judge Brenda J. Penny said that the current arrangement reflects a toxic environment which requires the suspension of Jamie Spears. Well, hallelujah for that. Back in June, Britney was in court to try to get her father removed yet again as the controller of her everything. But that same judge denied her request back in June. So, not to go too far, but her dad is crazy. A documentary was just released, and a former cybersecurity expert hired by Jamie came out and said that his company had to have access to phone and text messages, and even had a recording device in her bedroom, and heard conversations between Britney and her lawyer, boyfriend, and children. And how about someone handling Jamie Spears' life? How about that? Because that is just plain old sick. Really? Why would you want to hear private and personal conversations that your daughter is having with her family and friends? And I mean, honestly, I don't know how this thing went on as long as it did, just like other things around us, right? But this is insane. And Britney's got lawyers and things like that, and how it was impossible to break through it. That contract that was written up for him to control her life had to be pretty dang ironclad, because I don't know how this whole thing lasted. And about the money, clearly Jamie profited a lot by controlling his daughter's estate. I mean, Britney has, I didn't even count, but she has a lot of hit songs, tons of hit songs, videos. She's done shows. I mean, I cannot even imagine how much money he has made off of this entire scheme of his. But hopefully, my hope is for Britney that he didn't take so much money that she is financially crippled now, because that's happened too. You know what pops into my head for that? In Sync. Did you watch that documentary? I think it's on Netflix, but I watched it on YouTube. I believe, please let me know if I'm wrong. It's called Boys in the Band. Ron Perlman was their manager, and he literally sucked those boys dry. I mean, they eventually got away from his controlling management, but holy moly, you got to watch that. It was a great documentary, very well done. However, really sad. I mean, they were kids working their beans off, and their parents are like, yeah, this is fine. You know, they're letting our boys do what they got to do. They're going to be famous. They're making money. And in the background, the guy was just completely taking every single penny from these boys. So again, and Britney is in this whole time period of NSYNC as well. And Britney also has been relatively quiet over the past several years. She's been performing, but you never really heard a lot from her. I am hoping and guessing this will be different for Britney going forward. She can actually speak and be who she wants to be. But I'm sure there is a lot of damage that has been done mentally to her from this whole. I mean, it's your father. It's your father doing this to you. Sometimes at the end of the day, you have to wonder if all of that is worth it. You know, here it is. You're trying to build a career for yourself. It's just crazy, but good for Britney. I'm glad for her that she is finally free from the craziness, and hopefully, like I said, everything is good. And I'm sure even if it's not, it will get sorted out and she will make it all good for herself, because she's Britney Spears, for crying out loud. Love her. Toxic. That is a fun song. And it's perfect for her, right? Toxic, but great song. Great song. Yeah. So if you have the money to buy a home wherever you want to, why not? Mick Jagger did. Totally did. And he's got the money, honey. That's right. He's Mick Jagger, right? This past December, Mick bought his girlfriend, Melanie Hamrick, a mansion in Florida because he could, and because it's a place where they can lay low and have some peace and quiet in between all of the shows that they do. Now, Mick paid $2 million, which seems highly reasonable for this mansion. And you got to see pictures of this mansion. It's sprawling. I'm like, $2 million for that in Florida? Huge. They have an aerial shot of it online. Like, that's really, I wish I had $2 million. But I don't know. It's a lot of rooms to clean. Then I'd have to get a cleaning woman. Like, I can't even keep up with what I have now. Never mind. However, the mansion, the sprawling property that Mick bought there in Florida for his girlfriend, so cute, about 5,700 square feet on a lake, has a pool. Of course, you're in Florida. You have to have a pool. I mean, I bet if that mansion was in LA or anywhere else, it would be 10 million plus for sure. Thing is huge. Mick and Melanie do have a 4-year-old son. And just to point out, Mick is 77 and Melanie is 34. I'm just saying, they've been together a long time. And he's spry, that Mick Jagger. And everybody's saying it too. Like, Mick is spry. Elton John, he may be hurting with his hip, but he is still cranking out those hits. Amazing. Here's another song. I'm like, where did this one come from? So we've got 2 new songs from our favorite artists this week. It's just kind of crazy. So remember his song, I Guess That's Why They Call It the Blues. Apparently, again, I love learning new things every day. Stevie Wonder played harmonica on that song. And also another big crazy thing, that song was put out 40 years ago. 40. I guess that's why they call it the blues. You know, you sit there and you think, you listen to the song in your head 40 years ago. Stevie Wonder played harmonica on that song. It doesn't feel like it, but anywho. Elton and Stevie also worked together in that time period on Dionne Warwick's song, That's What Friends Are For. Remember that? Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. That's what friends are for. Well, today, Elton and Stevie have teamed up for a song called Finish Line off of Elton's upcoming album called Lockdown Sessions. And it's featuring Kanye West's Sunday Service Choir. So I'm listening to it yesterday. Al goes, "What are you listening to? Choir music?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, yes, I am. Kanye West Choir is part of the song." It is so good. Another really good song. Again, super picky. Now, I did read someone had called the song funky. I mean, I guess it has some type of funkiness to it, but it's more of a sweet song, honestly, and a very good one. So definitely take a listen to Finish Line. Elton John and Stevie Wonder. Really, really great song. And Elton sounds great in it. A little different. You can hear a little bit of change in his voice, not for the bad. I'm not criticizing Elton at all. But if you listen closely, he definitely has a little bit of a different tone to his voice. And Stevie Wonder, I don't think his voice will ever change. I really don't. Oh my gosh, so, so good. So we've got 2 brand new songs for the week. Bruce and John, Elton and Stevie. Thank you and happy Friday. Now, the coolest interview has been auctioned off and got a pretty good amount of cash for it. In January of 1970, John Lennon did an interview for student journalists and talked about his peace-in with Yoko Ono. They were in the bed, just sitting there, and all kinds of photographers were taking pictures of them and talking to them. Remember that? The peace-in. We should have that now. We should do a peace-in. Al and I. We're not doing that. I ain't got time for that. And he also talked about the Beatles and his hair. I mean, he did have pretty great hair. And that interview is on a cassette tape. Remember cassette tapes? Still around. They are. Go to a yard sale. All you see are cassette tapes and VHS tapes. It's kind of crazy. So the cassette tape with the interview on it, as well as the article from the student paper that it was written in and some pictures from that day. Imagine John Lennon talking to you as a student. Come on, where are all those students now? Must have been the best day ever. Those all as a package went up for auction. Now, the story behind that day with that interview with John and Yoko was there as well. John and Yoko were in Denmark for a custody battle for Yoko's 5-year-old daughter from a previous marriage. Now, that day, I guess it was really bad weather, so the press conference, people were late, was not well attended, and the student journalists showed up late because of that bad weather. And John and Yoko decided to speak with them anyway, even though it sounds like the conference was over, but they said, you know what, we'll just talk to them because they were just cool like that. John also sang a song to the students that day called Radio Peace, which was never released. Never. So there was a song on that cassette tape no one has ever heard before, just those students there and whoever else was there. Karsten Hogen knew that this tape was a big deal. He's the one who had the tape. So he locked it up in a vault, and good thinking, because again, that is the only existence of that song and this tape and this interview. So the cassette went up for auction. It was said it was going to sell for about $43,000, but it ended up selling for just over $58,000 for a little cassette tape with John Lennon's voice on it and Yoko. It's crazy. So good for them. And that is pretty incredible. Will the song get released? I don't know, but it would be kind of cool to hear it, I think. Steve Perry's car. No clue. Nothing. I got nothing. Absolutely no info at all, really. I did get a tidbit from my friend Mark the other day, but nothing's out there. Yep, still can't find anything. The car that Steve wrote many songs in, and he called it windshield writing or something like that. because he wrote songs in the car, maybe on the windshield. I mean, thank goodness no one got hurt. From those days with Steve driving and was he driving and writing, or did he stop the car and write in the car? Hopefully it was that one, because it would be kind of bad. Maybe I'm kind of thinking over the weekend, someone's got to release something. I mean, it was a week ago yesterday that the auction went off and ended. So we got to know something really soon. And someone, whoever bought the car in the bundle, the tuxedo jacket, and the signed copy of The Season from Steve, they're not going to be able to keep quiet much longer. They've got to put it out there. I have Steve's car. It's me. I'm wearing his jacket. We're talking about it on the show last night. And Mark, our friend Mark, he said he would wear the tuxedo jacket to bed. I would wear the tuxedo jacket to bed. Al would not. He's like, this is ridiculous. Why would I do that? So whoever won this thing has got to come out and release it. They would feel better if they let us all know who they are. Why did they buy it? What are they going to do with it? Are they going to keep the car? Are they going to drive around in the car? Are they going to write songs in the car? Are they going to get Steve Perry and take him for a ride in his own car? These are things I need to know. I want to know these things. Don't you do too? I know you do. I need a sip before we wrap this up. On my list, more pumpkin creamer this weekend. I'm almost out. Pretty good stuff, I got to tell you. So yeah, and Sunday, I am going to see my first concert since February of 2020. The last concert I saw was our friend John Payne, former lead singer of Asia, at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. That is the last concert I saw in February of 2020. So this Sunday at the Big E, we are going to see Styx. I'm so excited. I really am very, very psyched. It's going to be a great show. I've seen Styx a couple of times before. They do not disappoint ever. And you can go and read stuff about Styx. You're not going to find anything negative. These guys literally give a great show every single time they go out, and they are busy. They are out there tearing up the road and leaving smoke behind them as they move on ahead. Very excited. If you're going to the Big E and you're going to see Styx on Sunday, have an amazing time. And also, Daryl McDaniels, I thought this was great. He's going to be performing. So Styx is on at 8:30, and then Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC, remember they did that amazing song with Aerosmith, that collab, Walk This Way. He's going to be on another stage starting at 7:30. So we're going to have Daryl McDaniels playing over here, and Styx is going to be over here. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can go see Daryl like for a minute first and then run over. But I don't know how far apart they're going to, I would think they're pretty far apart. Then I can go run over and see the Styx show. So that's kind of neat, right? The Big E, they have some amazing entertainment. Pat Benatar, I think that show already happened. Billy Idol. Steve O'Jerry's been there a ton of times, not this year, but he's performed there a lot. And I've never been to the Big E. So we are super, super excited. It's going to be a great weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Remember to be kind to everyone. Stay strong. We need to do that right now, really. And remember, most importantly, to always remember, always, always, always turn your music up as loud as you can, even when people are looking, and keep rocking. Have an amazing day. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week.